Today's episode of the BS Podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor, the only fan-friendly app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. It's October, late October. Sal, this is the best week. We got
lots of fun.
World Series, NBA starting, football is dying, and hockey. What a week. You need SeatGeek for all of it. Drop your old ticket app. Use one bill for 2016. Buy tickets, enter stadiums on your own phone. Download the free SeatGeek app. Go to SeatGeek.com. We're also brought to you by Trunk Club. They find amazing clothes that fit you perfectly there. Handpicked by your own personal stylist. Not a subscription service. Order clothes wherever you like from your own personal stylist. Then take 5 days to try everything on. Returns are always free. Get started at trunkclub.com/BS. Your personal stylist is waiting to help you with your fall wardrobe. Trunkclub.com/BS. Don't forget about Any Given Wednesday, 10 p.m. This Wednesday, HBO. We have Wayne Gretzky, Bill Burr, and Larry Wilmer.
Oh, that's fun.
Hockey. I'm excited to talk hockey. Bill Burr.
Good.
Big Bruins fan. What a show. We also have TheRinger.com and our ongoing Mammoth NBA preview. Welcome aboard to Roger Sherman. He's writing about football, college football, and basketball for us. He has a kick-ass Saturday college football column you should check out. It's really good. I like it. Don't forget about our other 8 podcast feeds on the Ringer Network. Cousin Sal is here. Let's roll.
Yeah. Clearing up for you.
I think this is our last time
With Bach?
Picture Me Rolling. We have a big wrinkle for year 2 of the music for the BS podcast.
Really?
Yeah. I can't tell you what it is.
I also think this is the last time. This is the Week 8 podcast. Is the podcast we emotionally lose Bill to the NBA for the rest of the year. This is it.
What did
Enjoy,
you call
everybody.
me? What's your sarcastic name for me?
NBA hole? What do I call
NBA
it?
hole?
Yeah. He becomes an NBA hole.
No, I'm really enjoying the fall of football.
And now I was just going to say, now we're going to talk about how football is over.
Football had a Giants-Ram game in London that was an out-and-out atrocity. They had a tie between the Cardinals and Seahawks, which was probably the most loathed football game ever played on social media.
Yeah.
It was like everybody's just lining. I'm amazed Obama didn't weigh in.
Yeah, he might.
And then what do we have tonight? It's Texans-Broncos, Osweiler against Simeon. You know that's going to be just a defensive showdown. And then Thursday, everything peaks. Jags-Titans, live on the NFL Network.
Get rid of it.
That's the worst. Everything is leading to this moment of Jags-Titans.
That's not even worthy of a Thursday night game. That should be Wednesday when everyone's asleep or something. That whole division should just go away.
It really should. And then meanwhile, your division, the NFC East, everybody's over 500.
I think
I don't remember everyone being over 500 and going into week 8 ever.
It's hard to do. And I
Just
also
the
think the
math makes it
NFC just in
impossible.
general is impressive. Like every division has a wild card candidate, right? Even now with Tampa, in the West, obviously, you may not like Arizona, but I think they'll be there in December somewhere.
Yeah, who'd you pick for wild cards? I think that tie really hurts Arizona. Like now they have to go 9-6-1.
Yeah, 3-3-1 is not
because I think
good.
10-6 is going to take it. So they'd have to go 9-6-1, and I'm not that 10-6 is better. That beats it.
Right.
So what do? They have to go 10-5-1. They have to lose 2 more
And
games all season.
I say Eagles and Packers are the wild cards.
Well, we've made history over and over again with our gambling bets that have fallen through at the last second. Mm-hmm. This one might take the cake. We bet on the Lions, the Browns, and the Niners collectively not to make the playoffs.
Right.
And you texted me in August, and you're like, how does this lose? And I looked at it, and I said, you're right. This doesn't lose. It's impossible for this to lose. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford led 3 straight comebacks. The Lions are 4-3. They're atrocious. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I've watched the ending to these games.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for them to lose. They don't lose. And now this is going to be the week where everybody writes Matthew Stafford columns because I think since the bye week last year, I think he's like 36 TDs and 5 picks, something like that.
And most to 100, quickest to 100 touchdowns or something, the fewest games or something weird. But I think they're, as bad as this season's been for football, there are 3 bad, exciting teams. I think New Orleans, Detroit, and the Colts are bad, exciting teams.
The Chargers are like decent exciting.
I think they're good.
I think they should be like 5-2.
I do really think they are.
Oh my God.
Bad, boring is San Francisco, LA, Cleveland, Jacksonville, and Chicago. But there are 3 bad, exciting teams, I think.
bad boring.
Yeah.
Well, the Colts have a good quarterback, and they're absolutely atrocious at every other spot, which makes them fun to watch week to week.
So our loss was with the Titans. I think you were starting to say we had the Titans. That was my cousin South Shore thing. Best bet. I bought it down to 2.5. I thought it was looking great.
It was. They were driving. It was 2020. They were driving with 7 minutes left. They got conservative. They had a terrible sequence of first, second, third down plays. Kicked a field goal, and you knew luck was going to come down.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they're down 10.
We were lucky to be in it. They had, I think the Colts had 131 penalty yards or something. They kept getting bailed out.
Yeah,
Mariota
they
was throwing
dominated
really
the game.
bad passes, getting bailed out by pass interferences or defensive holdings or whatever it is. But
Mariota, I
stop
don't
him.
even know if he's worthy of an "Are we sure he's good?" conversation.
I think in the
I don't
last,
even wanna have
he's
it.
in the bottom third of quarterbacks
He's
we've
really-
seen in the last 2 years that come
He's
out.
just not accurate.
Right?
The worst one is Case Keenum, who
Yeah.
now we have to really look at this Jared Goff thing and wonder how terrible he is, that they can't play
Got to
him.
be.
Case Keenum has the lowest QBR this year so far. I looked it up. I like looking
Right.
I wait 7 weeks and then I look at the QBR. He's 31st.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the Browns guys aren't in there because they haven't qualified, but yeah, he's got, I think
I bet against him in each of his 3 wins. So, and now I'm not able to benefit from these pick sixes. But let me defend him for a second. And he's atrocious, but let me defend him. They're winning 10-0. There's a pass over the middle to I think it was Tavon Austin. Tips it in the air, and that Collins then takes it and runs it back. They're
Right.
driving to make it 13 or 17-0. Maybe they put the Giants away there, and then it just all fell apart. You throw 2 picks in the end zone, and
I always thought they should have team interceptions.
right,
Wait, can we go back to Sunday night?
sure.
Are you happy with the NFL overtime/tie rules? Should we ever
Yeah.
have a tie?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah?
It's
You're
a-
okay with a tie?
Yeah. And then we can make fun of how bad the teams are, that they couldn't pull it out.
I really I barely watch college, but I always enjoy when it goes in overtime.
That's
I think
fun.
it's really fun. Wouldn't it have been more fun yesterday if they had college football overtime rules?
Yeah, I think so. It just screws up the stats and everything. You know, I don't know. Just
It screws
just
up. Oh, it'd be bad for fantasy.
yeah, I
like how you
think
think.
about that. You'll end up with Reggie Cobb will have more. Did I say Reggie Cobb? Is it Randall Cobb?
I gave it to you.
Damn. He'll have more touchdowns than Jerry Rice because he had 4 in the overtime in a 4
Yeah.
overtime game or something. You know, be weird.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I just
don't
thought
like what
that
happened
game,
yesterday.
It was so bad, and Collins worked so hard to keep the interest. I love the smash mouth football. I love it. I love the low scoring. It's like, all right.
He's
please.
really he's turned into a WWE announcer. He really has. The way he sells these matches. So, over the rope.
Yeah.
Like he's just
I
totally
think at
gets into
some
it.
point they need to cut the corners. Like, all right, this is a bad game. We understand. Al and I, we have to mix it up. We're going to do crap game karaoke. We're just going to sing. Like Don Meredith used to sing in
Right.
the booth, whether the game was good or bad. Like,
Well, they've tried a comedian. They had
6'6".
Dennis Miller in there, and then
Yeah.
they had Kornheiser's not a comedian, but
Right.
is like a reverend. Maybe they should have somebody who just travels with the crew, and then if the game sucks, they just bring
standing
the guy
by.
in.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like your guy, Bill Burr, who
Bill
you're having
Burr would
on
have been
this- he'd
unbelievable. Well,
perfect. He'd
he
be perfect.
might have sworn a couple times on the air. I don't know if he could have gotten through
How
that
could
game.
you help but swearing in that game? I mean, it's not the death of football, but that was a bad car wreck that football's gonna walk away from last night.
Well,
That was
and
really
then
bad.
if they're walking away, and then the Jags Titan car is going to run them over and kill
Man.
everybody.
And poor London, what we're doing to there's another London game.
So I started Eli over. Can I do my annual or
Yeah.
my weekly? I hate fantasy football.
Yeah,
I started Eli over Russell Wilson because I
that's
thought
not bad.
Russell Wilson was going to have a tough night, and Eli could not crack 10 points, and then
No.
Russell Wilson couldn't either, and I might be done. This might be it. This might be my
team
farewell
broke
year.
broke 50 last week, this week. I thought that was good for you.
It,
They're
tur-
like
it
62
turns
points.
out building your whole team around Gronk and Ezekiel Elliott doesn't work. But I mean, at the same time, like Joseph Ajayi,
I know.
all these
These
dudes.
people picking these guys up on Friday night to.
So I wrote down some fantasy stuff that jumped out. Matt Ryan, who you got for $1 when everybody was half
Yeah.
asleep at the end of our draft, leads the league with 182.4 fantasy points.
Thank you. Yeah.
LeGarrette Blount is on pace for 1,300 rushing yards and 17 TDs, and right now he's the 6th highest fantasy
Oh, six.
non-QB.
Oh, I can't.
Out of
even
all the
believe-
non-QBs, he's 6th.
I thought he'd be even higher.
Your top 6 non-QBs: David Johnson, DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy, Zeke Elliott,
Yep.
Julio Jones, LeGarrette Blount, who went for like
Pretty
$1. I mean, this is all so random.
Pretty good.
This is the one that really gets me, and this is why I don't think I should do fantasy football anymore. I had Melvin Gordon last year. I spent like $20 on him. In 0 TDs.
No touchdowns.
He has 10 in 7 games.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Right.
Team isn't different. It's the same kind of shitty 9-7, but
Yeah.
kind of exciting Chargers team that they've had every year.
Right.
He's gonna have 20 TDs.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
And then the other statistical thing I had to throw. Oh, David Johnson, by the way, is over 1,000 yards combined with
They
everything.
pound him. They give him the ball all the time. They
He
throw to
went.
him.
He went for like $50 in our league.
Yeah, he was a big.
And it was kind of one of those where you're like, you wanted to make fun of it, but everybody kind of wanted him too, so nobody said anything.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady, 3-0, 1,004 passing yards,
8 TDs, no interceptions.
no picks, almost 10 yards per pass, and a 132.6 QB rating.
He's good. No, they made the right decision to start him when he got back.
I agree. Do you think he can get in the top 10 for passing yards?
I haven't looked at it.
I looked at it. He's like about 1,000 behind the 10th guy.
Sure.
But
What?
if he can make, he's got
What are you talking about? It's
9
4
games left
Oh, this year?
this year.
Yeah. Who's the? I don't know.
He'd spot the field 4 games and still be top 10 in passing
Oh,
yards.
I see. This year. Oh, I thought you meant overall.
Like
all
Tannehill,
time. Yeah.
Tannehill's in the middle. He's like 15th. He's got 1,800 passing yards or something. Brady's going to pass
Right.
him by the end of the year. But
Right.
I was actually, I looked it up because I was thinking, like, is there a chance Brady could win the passing yards title? What would the odds on that be?
That's interesting.
So if he throws for like 325 yards a game for the last 9, that gets us to close to, he'd be around 4,000. Somebody's going to throw for more than 4,000, right?
Yeah.
Matt Ryan will.
Right. Breeze will be up there.
Breeze will be up there. He's getting garbage.
What about MVP though? I think Joe House liked Brady for MVP preseason. I laughed at him. I don't think you did, but I laughed at him.
Oh, I got misty-eyed. I loved it.
Tom Brady, plus 120 for MVP.
What?
Plus 120.
Who are the MVP? Who else are
David
the
Johnson 10-1. Ezekiel Elliott, he's the true MVP, 10-1. Aaron Rodgers 12. I don't know where they get that. Matt Ryan 12, and Luck 18-1.
Wow. So if the Pats go like 15-1 or 14-2, yeah, you're right. He has a chance.
Sure.
I didn't even think. Nah, if Elliott rushes for like 1,900 yards and you get a 1 seed, he's winning.
Well, why not take Elliott at 10-1 and Brady? Why aren't we
Yeah,
doing
why
that?
wouldn't we?
I know. Actually, David Johnson.
What a weird year.
David
How is Brady
Johnson
the MVP? Brady's the MVP favorite. He missed 4
ridiculous.
games.
Yeah. Guy who missed 4 games, David Johnson, who no one heard about ever a year and a half ago, and Ezekiel Elliott.
Those are
your
our top 3.
Those are the top 3.
Julio Jones has to be in the mix, right? What if they go 11-5 and he has 2,000?
Yeah, he's 30-1. But maybe
What's Stafford?
They may just give it to Ryan.
Maybe Stafford is the way we hedge our Lions
He's
bet.
down the list a ways. In fact,
I mean, they're 4-3 and he's
120-1 if you want.
120.
Yeah. Not a lot of true people writing columns about him, but no one willing to put money on him.
Yeah, I guess Brady is the best bet because when you look at the AFC right now, who do you have as the second best team?
I don't know.
Pittsburgh, like Roethlisberger's going to miss 5 games.
Right.
And Landry Jones, the Pats, it took them 3 quarters to figure out that he was just throwing either lob passes or really soft line drive passes.
He's a nice backup, but he's
Nice
not
backup.
gonna make Eli Rogers and Sammy Coates great receivers like Roethlisberger does. Yeah, you're right. 3 quarters.
He's what
in, you
Lombardi
figure it
would
out.
call a 45-minute QB.
Yeah,
By
right.
the 4th quarter, he was out of ammo. The Pats like, oh yeah, we know the 2 things you could do.
Pat's second half was the bet there.
We can agree that the Pats are the best team right now,
Sure.
right? It might not last, but after 7 weeks, you'd pick them first.
Right.
With no pass rush. Mm-hmm. And our offensive line had like 6 holding penalties in that game yesterday, and our kicker has missed a couple extra points and some field goals. And this is a guy that we've never had to worry about for 10 years, and
Yeah.
something goofy's happened. I shouldn't have this many concerns about the best team in the league, which just makes me think the league sucks.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard for me to believe the Patriots are the best team in the league.
But you still have that formula down where maybe even if there's a close game, you stay with them, and then Gronk just breaks everyone's spirit. He makes the big catch. Might be for a touchdown, might not be. But it's like, wow, why? And you almost think, like, why aren't they covering him? I still feel like in the league, there's like, why? It seems like teams forget to cover certain guys that they shouldn't be. Gronk's one of them. Julio Jones is another. Like, wow, how is that guy wide
Antonio
open?
Brown's another one.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
I think, is it just like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to, he's going to beat me, so let me pretend it's someone else's guy. I'm not going to cover him. Like, it's very strange what goes on there. But Gronk is a spirit killer.
He's got 8 catches for over 20 yards already.
Is that right?
And he's only played, I think, three full games.
Yeah.
I watched with Kevin Brady, longtime Pats fan, yesterday, and that Gronk touchdown, the way they lined up, I started because I've played so much Madden over my life, where you can just see what Madden plays are going to work, and a lot of what the Pats run are like it's the best Madden offense with the tight ends. They lined him up on the left on the inside, and you could see the Steelers didn't have it covered. They didn't have somebody, and you could see the numbers were wrong. And I was like, Gronk over the middle, Gronk over the middle. But I thought he was going to go in. He just went straight.
Yeah.
And it just seems like that plays there twice a game.
Little shuck move, and that's it.
It's just the one time the safety falls asleep, or they ran another play in the first half where he was on the left side with 2 receivers. One just went down the sideline deep. Edelman ran a button hook across the middle, and then Gronk kind of cut in. Like they took out everybody and just had Gronk one-on-one. It's unstoppable.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if button hooks go across the middle, but I know what you're saying. I know.
What's the one over the middle where the guy swerves? It's not a button hook.
Yeah.
It's
what is it, slant route? What are you talking
no,
about?
like
post?
the deep slant. Yeah, the post route.
Yeah.
I got my football terminology screwed up. Do you hate Jay Ajayi? I hate Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like when people come out of nowhere to swing fantasy leagues.
Well, that's the whole thing. I'm looking at him as a fantasy player, and the guy I was playing this week, my scumbag friend Harry, picked him up like not even Wednesday night, but Thursday night. And just 27 point. What did he have? Something crazy.
Dallas Philly is Sunday night against what game of the World Series? 4?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 5. It's tough.
It's the best football game they've had all year, and the Cubs could be up 3-1 at home trying to win the World Series.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Baseball gets its revenge.
This is a good time to debut crap game karaoke. No one's watching.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Week 8 lines.
It's good.
And then we're going to talk about the World Series. And then we're going to do a couple NBA future things I got to talk. But before we do that, our friends at Squarespace make it easy to build beautiful websites without breaking a sweat, regardless of skill level. No coding needed. Not only does Squarespace provide easy-to-use tools, Squarespace's state-of-the-art technology ensures security and stability. Millions of people and some of the world's most respected brands trust Squarespace, so you should too. Not only do you get 24/7 online support, you can even design a best-in-class online store with Squarespace's award-winning templates and customizable settings. And with Squarespace Commerce, you get all the tools you need to track inventory, process orders, send custom emails in one intuitive interface. Start a free trial today at squarespace.com. Use offer code BS to get 10% off your first purchase. All right, Week 8.
Let's do it.
We have our Don Julio shot of the week, it's the only thing I'm winning every week.
You're killing it, and I'm just killing it. I'm getting murdered.
Don Julio, the world's original handcrafted tequila with multiple unique tequilas, including Don Julio 1942, the best luxury tequila you will ever drink, and the tequila that Dan Sandberg drank before he fathered 2 of his 7 kids to loosen himself up.
Those are conservative estimates, but I think you're right. Yeah.
So we can either pick for the Don Julio shot of the week tonight's game, which is Texans at Broncos.
Right.
Or you can roll it over to Titans-Jags. What is the Broncos line right now?
I was just going to check that. The Broncos are laying 8 points.
Oh, wow. That's high. I don't think the Texans offense is going to be able to do anything. Like, not one thing. I really think it could go badly. Well, let's guess the Titans line first, and then I'm going to make the Don Julio, because I don't know what that line is.
Jacksonville, Tennessee.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Do you think they should use different announcers for this?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, why don't they use their worst announcers for this?
I think they're going to have trouble finding people to announce these games. I think the announcing crew is
the announcers are revolting.
They're just not going to show up one day, and that'll be that.
It's too bad this isn't going against the World Series.
I swear we've seen this exact game 4 times this year already. But
I know. I have the Titans by 4, a little high.
You said 4. I said 5.5, really high, especially after watching them. It's -3.5.
-3.5.
Tennessee 3.5.
Bortles on the road. He's 2-14 lifetime on the road. Blake Bortles. Did you know that?
Is that right?
Yeah. He's 2-14.
Wow.
14 of 16 times he was lost on the road.
Did Gus Bradley solidify? Because there were two coaches that helped themselves out. Mike McCoy, big win for the Chargers, helped himself out. Who else?
Well, Rex Ryan saved his job.
Yeah, but he's not good. Yeah,
But think about
I'm saying this week.
McCarthy was, there was McCarthy stuff. If they had blown that Bears game, they lucked out. Brian Hoyer broke his wrist. I think the Bears were going to beat them.
Yeah,
I don't think the Packers are good.
They look bad. But the other coach, Chuck Strong, Pagano.
Pagano was in the mix.
So right now, I think Gus Bradley has a stranglehold on first coach.
Was there a no coach gets fired bet that we could have done?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm saying before the year.
Before the year?
Because I don't know if anyone gets fired. Because Jim Caldwell was another one everybody was talking about, and he's not getting fired.
Bradley's -200. Chip Kelly, 4-1.
Oh, he's
They'll
not
let him
getting
go.
fired.
They'll let him
that
stay.
team's awful.
Pagano, 10-1. Caldwell, 15-1, like you mentioned. Fox, 15-1. That could be interesting. McCoy, also 15, and Malarkey, 20.
I don't think anyone gets fired.
And not even Jeff Fisher. Guys made $50 million coaching.
But you know what you sign up for with Jeff Fisher. They're right where they're who they thought. Who was the Dennis Green line? Yeah. They are who we thought they are. They're 3-4, and they're going to go 8-8 again. They go 8-8 every year. It's hilarious.
Yeah. The most unimaginative offense I've seen with that team.
I don't like either of those games. You know what? I'm gonna take
You can't pass on the Don Julio shot of the week.
No, I know. I'm gonna throw it down with the Broncos -8.
Interesting.
I don't think. You know what?
You gonna change it? You want to do a shot?
I'm gonna take the Jags. Nobody should be favored in any AFC South game.
All right, I'm staying. I don't think that game is worthy of Don Julio or not even Don Knotts. I don't think that game is.
So you're going Texans?
And I think I agree with all your reasoning. The Broncos should win. This is a revenge game against Osweiler. They have had 10 days rest. The Texans are awful on the road, as we've seen. They got shut out in New England. So I'm taking Houston because nothing makes sense. Houston +8. So we're both going underdogs.
I hate both of these games.
No.
I just think Titans-Jags is a 3-point game. I get a free half point.
Right.
The Jags do have guys on defense that I like.
Why
and they might be better off playing on the road.
We should have been all over the Raiders. Speaking of better teams on the road.
We bet on oh, you mean betting
just
this
yesterday.
week?
How
They're 4-0 on the road.
We got scared by the line. I think it was Jags were favored by 1.5. We know the Raiders are better. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Right.
The Jags were, for some reason, frightened me a tiny bit, and I wish I could.
All right, now listen, you did it again. Washington at Cincinnati, technically, but this game's in London, and I know you didn't realize that because
there's another London game.
This is it. This is the third London game.
Washington and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll redo that pick then.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Cincy by 4.5.
All right. See, you're gonna get. It's not fair. You had 6 originally. Now you go 4.5. I said 1. It's 3.
Oh, so I barely.
So
won
you
that.
win that one.
Wow. So they only think the Bengals are 3 points better than the Native Americans.
That's very strange that they're gonna have actually a good game. Does London have to let these teams in? Like, what's their border? What's their policy at the border?
Some of my soccer fans at the Ringer were saying that the Premier League is stacking really good Premier League games to go against these NFL games.
Wow.
It's like, I don't even think you need to do that.
No,
Premier League.
Yeah.
These games are
I
terrible.
think
You
your
got
daughter's
nothing to worry
game
about.
would rate the same. Can I just say before we go further, this week collectively, because you've already submitted your line, so the lowest spreads I've ever seen in a game. The lowest spreads. There's not one game over 7. There's 2 at 6, and everything else is lower. If you added them up, I've never seen anything.
I think everyone's just quit.
Yeah.
So just looking at the Bengals really quick, They barely beat the Jets in week 1. They should have lost. Lose to the Steelers in week 2. They were down double figures the whole game. Got a cheap touchdown near the end. Got killed by the Broncos. They beat the Dolphins on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Which I just almost feel like you throw out the Thursday night games. They're so stupid. Get killed by the Cowboys. Get killed by the Patriots. And then this week, they beat the Browns, who had some guy I've literally never heard of in my life, Kevin Hogan.
Yep.
Came in. He's their 6th quarterback to throw a pass this year. There's no sign that the Bengals are good. So maybe that Washington line is fair.
I guess it is. I mean, Washington's 4-3.
Right.
Yeah, it should be very low, whatever it is. But
they're 4-3, and they could have won the Lions game, and they could have beaten your team, right?
Yeah, it has potential to not be a hideous game. But the miracle gambling win of the day was Cincy -8 at half. And they throw a Hail Mary to A.J. Green. So
that covered it? Wow.
Yeah, congratulations if you're on that. All right, Jets at Cleveland.
I have a theory on why everybody's missing extra points.
Yeah,
because people are like, why is this happening? This makes no sense. I think during the games, the extra points were almost like practice for the kickers.
Right.
So they just go out, they bang in their extra points, but it's like a rep. So then when they have a real field goal, they're out there, they get a feel of the crowd, all that. Now it's like every time they kick anything, there's pressure. There's no rep.
Right.
It's just you're out there. It's like, yeah, you're thinking about the crowd, the thing, and there's no easy kick anymore. And I think these guys are psyching themselves out a tiny bit. Whereas before, it's like you go out, you just bang in the extra point. Oh, my foot was off. I got to fix that for.
Right.
So it's almost like golf where you don't have a practice swing.
Well, I was going to say almost like I hate to bring up basketball because you don't like
Please
talking about
do.
it. But
Oh
like
my
a free
God.
throw, if you moved it back 6 feet, like I think that would be about, maybe not even 6 feet, but guys would miss a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm right. Just my theory.
I don't know why they're missing 19-yard field goals, though. I mean, they took the 5-yard penalty, Arizona, right? In
Why not go for it one more time? I don't know. It
was third down when they kicked?
go for it twice, and then they kick it. It's like, either go for it all 3 times or don't go for it, but don't half-ass go for it.
Right. Oh, they were so close to getting into Jets at Cleveland.
So we should mention 6 teams off this week.
Yeah, that's too many.
Rams, Dolphins, Niners, Giants, Ravens, Steelers. I would argue all 6 of those teams are delighted to have a bye week, except for maybe Miami that had a little momentum from the Bills game.
Right, for sure.
The other 5 definitely are fired up for the bye week.
5 of the 6 are either 3-4 or 4-3, and then there's San Francisco at 1-6.
We had an old idea from a previous podcast that I really liked that obviously didn't work this week, but when there was six teams off like this, they don't have any early games. Or they don't have any late games. This is the week where you
All
just
of it?
stack everything,
They basically
and then we
did.
can hang out with our families.
They basically did. There's 2 late afternoon games.
And what are they?
They are San Diego at Denver and Green Bay at Atlanta.
See, those are good games.
Why only 2? I mean, it's not up against the World Series.
That's pretty weird.
I go 3 or none. I'm with you. Jets at Cleveland, that could just be off the slate altogether.
All right, yeah, we didn't talk about Cleveland. Cleveland has a real chance now at 0-16. If they don't win this one.
You like Kevin Hogan?
No.
What you gonna do when 12 for 24 with 2 interceptions is coming after you?
I got this, brother. Jets this week. Dallas at Baltimore, Pittsburgh Giants, Cincy at Buffalo, San Diego at Pittsburgh. It doesn't even matter where those games are being played.
That's
I
the
don't
Jets?
think. These are all the Cleveland
games. Yeah.
I would say the best. That last month is brutal. Cincinnati at Buffalo, San Diego at Pittsburgh. They're not winning any of those games.
It's all brutal when you're Cleveland and everyone else is the other team.
True. They have, I would argue, 3 more chances to win a game.
This
Either
is one
this
of them?
week.
Yeah.
At Baltimore 2 weeks from now on a Thursday night. Who knows? Thursday nights are weird.
Yeah.
And then home for the Giants. I mean, that could be like.
What's their last one? Could someone possibly be sitting players?
It's at Pittsburgh.
No, they'll need that.
Pittsburgh's going to need it for something, right?
Yeah.
Unless
they won't lose at home either. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be going for a 2 seed, 3 seed,
Right.
something. But holy mackerel, we might have an 0-16 team.
Well, Vegas isn't counting them out this week. So
I had the Jets by 4.
I had the Jets by 6 because you can only give so much credit to a team who's trying to lose. But
Yeah.
Vegas has it 2.5. Jets by 2.5. Sucker bet.
Who do you like?
I don't know. I like to stay away. That's a sucker bet. I like the Jets. What are you talking about? We have to stay away.
We have I have the 4 worst teams in the league are the Jets, the Bears, the 49ers, and the Browns.
You don't put the Jags in there?
I have the Jags as the 5th worst team in the league. You have the Jets and Browns playing each other, and then you have the Jags and the Titans playing each other. I have the Titans as like,
Yeah.
I mean,
They
that
won.
whole
They won
division's
badly
awful.
in that group. Yeah.
But just those are 2 of the worst games we've had all year.
Yeah.
And I would say do not lay points and when 2 bad
Stay
teams are
away.
playing.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Seattle at New Orleans. Interesting game.
I put Seattle by 3.5. It's just the Saints are dying to be taken here.
Yeah.
Right?
I said 3, and it is 3, so I get that one exactly.
If the Saints defense can't get the Seahawks offense going, then we should have real concerns here.
Right. They're one of my bad exciting teams, though. Watch
Yeah.
this game. This will be a fun game. Arizona at Carolina. This was also once a fun game.
Panthers by 2 I had.
You're going to get it. I had Arizona by 2.5. I think I made it before the end of that horrific game last night, but it's Carolina -1.
So if Carolina wins this, they're 2-5.
Coming off a bye, right?
Going to LA the next week. After that, home for the Chiefs, home for the Saints on a Thursday. And then they go at Oakland, at Seattle. I don't think there's any way they make the playoffs.
I have to see.
I
You
think
have to
they're
see
a complete cross-off.
something out of their secondary first before you could
Would
say
you cross
that's a
them
good-
off? Because I have 5 cross-off teams right now. The Browns, 49ers, Bears, Jets, and Saints.
I'll wait one more week, and even if they win, I might cross them off this week. But I don't think talk about kickstarting an offense. I think Arizona will now score some points at Carolina.
I think the Panthers, we both agree 10 wins to get into the playoffs in the NFC. So they have to go 9-1.
Yeah, God, they're not doing
Impossible.
it.
Their
They're not
defense
doing it.
isn't good enough.
Nope.
Wow.
Real quick, ratings down 11%. I don't know if you've discussed this on any of your other podcasts. What do
NFL?
and NFL ratings. What's the biggest reason?
I talked about it
Oh, you did.
with Michaels and Costas on Wednesday night.
Oh,
And I
right.
laid
Yeah.
out the oversaturation theory.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest reason.
But
There's too
Michael
much.
said it was the games they got unlucky with.
And
he
he
was
said
just talking
that.
Sunday night. Yeah.
I think it's like 8 factors. The concussions, Goodell. We didn't even congratulate them for raising awareness for women this month.
Yeah, that's right.
The NFL. I mean, if you look at it, if you spin it positively, they
Yeah,
raised awareness
that's true.
for domestic violence against women. So
Right.
congratulations to them. Every time I saw the pink jerseys and the shoes,
It's nice that you
I
can-
thought of Josh Brown,
Oh, right.
keeping a journal about all the times he beat his wife up.
Right, yeah.
And, that's great. Good job, NFL.
Yeah.
Way to
There's no
go.
hypocrisy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
But I think, what about those people that say, I'm not watching because of Kaepernick? I don't believe that people canceling their DirecTV because of Kaepernick. Honestly, there are people that say that. Like, they canceled their package because of Kaepernick. I don't believe
think
that.
you can underestimate people over 70 for anything. Not
Really?
for one thing. Yeah.
Wow.
I
you
think there are
that's a
people over
legitimate
70 who are
factor?
like, this guy's not going to stand up for the anthem. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I think the NFL's lost a lot of female fans, and they should have. Mm-hmm. The way they have handled women this decade, there's no way that hasn't at least slightly affected the number of female fans that they have.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Like, you look at what they did this week with this Josh Brown thing. To go through this after they already did this with Ray Rice 2 years ago, to then have this happen again in just as callous of a fashion.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I didn't understand why he was on the team. Like, just get rid of him.
You have to
Get
treat
rid of
it
him before the season.
as a penal code thing. You did this, you get this. You did that,
It's a kicker. Who
Yeah,
cares? Just
right.
get rid of him.
Right. That goes to show you how under the radar these kickers are. It's like,
Well, what it really goes to show you is the NFL is held in so low of a self-esteem
Mm-hmm.
right now with the general public.
right.
And once a year they get caught in something where they just either flat out lied or they just completely mishandled something.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you go, how did you not handle this correctly? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't seem hard to handle this Josh Brown thing correctly.
Yeah.
The way they handle it, it's like Keystone Cops.
Right.
And then, which I don't want to go through Deflategate again, but it's just funny. Like the one time America's like, no, the NFL was right, was with Tom Brady, who's never done anything in his life.
Well, Greg Hardy is practicing extra points right now. Let's put it this way. Once he saw how kickers are on
Seriously?
the hook. Yeah.
What about the guy in the Chiefs, Ty Hill? Go Google what Ty Hill did at Oklahoma State.
Yep. So, but I'd say that I don't know if this is the number one factor, but, in the last couple of years, people say, I watch the Red Zone. I just have the Red Zone channel on the background, and I'm with the kids, and that's how I watch games. It's like, okay, that's good. I could never watch TV like that. I couldn't watch the games. I have to have the 8 or how many screens up. It might not be a legitimate factor now. Maybe that's why ratings are down.
I think it's a factor. I agree.
Right? Like a lot of people watching this Red Zone channel.
I used to, the 4 TV thing, which I had never really seen in action until I moved here and our cousin had it.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. I was like, wow, this is the next stage of football. And really now you just need the game you're watching, toggle back and forth with another game, and have the Red Zone on. You really only need 2 TVs.
Yeah.
I had 4 going yesterday. It didn't matter. Like the Vikings-Eagles game was atrocious. Had that on one of the TVs.
Yeah.
Then if something gets good. But there was only 2 good games yesterday.
Right.
Chargers-Falcons was really fun. Pat-Steelers wasn't well played, but it was compelling. And and that's another thing is stars. Wilson's one of the 5 biggest stars in the league. Is it that much fun to watch Russell Wilson play football? Tate, do you like watching Russell Wilson play football? He's shaking his head angrily.
No, he's ruined my life too many times.
What about Cam Newton, Tate? He's
Cam
another
Newton's
one.
fun.
Is he fun? What? But I
Yeah.
know, but they're 1-5. Like maybe that's why all this stuff. Tate's true. He's really mad.
Falcons are fun. I mean, just go through all the teams.
Yeah.
Pats are fun.
All right.
Hold on, I'm trying to find more fun teams.
Did you say the Raiders?
Chargers are fun.
The Raiders are fun.
Falcons, Raiders, Cowboys, and Pittsburgh when Ben's in there. So that's
when you
6
say-
teams that are fun to watch.
You say fun. I think there are 20 offenses that are still out of sync in Week 7. Like that's what's weird. Maybe it is the preseason and how slow things are, and no 2-a-days and no everything else. But I think
that's a big
fair.
part of this. Though, just what happened with the salary cap and how Kevin and Brady and I were talking about it yesterday about how you don't keep the guy on the team for those last 2 years of his career anymore. The veteran, the guy who knows where to go and what to do. Like in the mid-2000s, Troy Brown's not on the Patriots in 2000 when we won our last Super Bowl. He's already off the team.
Yeah.
He's replaced by a 7th rounder. And
now they're sticking around.
I had this idea a while ago. I thought it was like one of the 11 best ideas I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, I really do. I think you should be
Best ideas I've had. Number 7.
It'd be a great countdown show. Number 11.
11.
With the salary cap, you should be rewarded when somebody's been on your team for a long time. Not just that you picked him, but that the guy panned out and there's some loyalty in there. Like, how long has Jason Witten been on the Cowboys? 12
Forever.
years?
Yeah, I think it's 12. Yeah, I think so. Right in there.
So they should have an escalating bumper thing. Like after 8 years, his salary only counts for 85% of the cap.
Well, this is NBA, right?
No, the NBA doesn't do it this way. I'm saying
They don't.
I'm saying the longer you're on a team, the less your salary actually counts against the cap. So Brady, who's been on the Pats now for 16 years, maybe you make it that his salary only counts 50% of the cap. Every year, it's another 5% off. And then, you have guys who can retire with teams, and there's a little more loyalty, and there's veterans.
Yeah, why isn't that NBA? Isn't that what they do? You get rewarded for re-signing your own free agent?
Yeah, but it counts against the cap.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have advantages for the years you can add to the deal. But this is different. This would be like Jason Witten's been on the team 13 years. We're paying him $10 million. 5 counts against the cap. Like both sides should be rewarded for that.
And if his 40 is under over 7.5 seconds, that should also count. It's 40-yard dash.
Quickly, we're going to talk about Indochino.
Oh, yeah.
Every man looks better in a suit. Every man, including our cousin, who started wearing suits for Jimmy Kimmel Live. When? When did he start wearing the suit with the tie? The full...
It's funny because we were discussing this. He was behind the desk for most of a year.
Did he have a suit on? He started without the tie.
And then he did the stand up, but still without the tie, and then he wore the tie. Gave in.
Well, why get one of those generic off the rack suits? Try Indochino. It's one of the largest made-to-measure menswear brands. Let them help you find great-fitting, high-quality suits and shirts at an incredible price. Here's how it works. Visit Indochino.com, I-N-D-O, Chino.com, or drop by one of their 9 North American showrooms. Pick from hundreds of fabrics and patterns. Choose customizations. Submit your body measurements. Then kick back, relax, and get ready to step into the best, most stylish suit you've ever worn in just 4 weeks. This week, my listeners can get any premium Indochino suit for just $389. Go to Indochino.com as long as you enter BS at checkout. That's 50% off the regular price for a made-to-measure premium suit. Shipping is free. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Indochino.com. Promo code BS.
I like it.
All right.
New England at Buffalo. We made it to your game.
So do you think the Bills aren't that good, or did they wilt in the Florida Heat?
No, I think you're right. And
Should we start looking at the Florida Heat as a gambling factor? Because that happened in the Packers-Jags week 1, too.
Yeah.
Remember how hot it was?
That'd be smart if we started looking at it.
Let's start looking at the weather more.
In November.
Yeah.
Florida Heat.
85 degree
No, I know.
games.
But I just, maybe they were looking ahead to this game. How much better would this be if Bills were 5-2 and the Pats are 6-1 and they already have a win over you?
They should be. They shouldn't ever lose to the Dolphins. I had the Pats by 4 in Buffalo. Might have gone low.
No, I think you said 4.5, didn't you? No?
4.5, whatever I said.
I said 4, and you did go low. It's 6.5. We both went low, so you win that one.
6.5.
It's the highest line of the week. 6.5.
It's a bad that run, like that. All that stuff is bad for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I think if the Steelers had to do yesterday's game over again, they should have done more of that. Was D'Angelo Williams hurt?
Yeah, he was hurt.
That helped us yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed him on the sidelines.
You figured
a couple
out
times.
what Bell was going to do.
By the way, Bell is amazing.
Yeah. Even
I mean, he was amazing in that game. I don't know what his final stats were, but every single play he got 3 more yards than he should have for the 4 quarters.
He still got through.
He was incredible.
He's excellent. Now, is this, if Belichick is to circle one game on the schedule, isn't this the one?
Yeah, you don't. Well, also we win the division if we win this game.
Yeah, and
we
you
have
don't.
a 3-game lead.
I'm sure he prides himself on not getting swept by anyone in the division.
Yeah, this is bring all the horses.
So
for
that
this one.
I think that's why there's an extra 2 points in there.
The other thing with this game, to get through this one, it's smooth sailing on the road the rest of the year, except for at Denver, Week 15. Toughest home game is Seattle on a Sunday night. Mm-hmm.
This is a scary team.
It's a 14-2 if they win this game.
I hate it. All right, Oakland at Tampa Bay. It's a good game.
My 2 favorite teams, my 2 favorite preseason teams. I had the Raiders by 2. I think you almost have to judge the Raiders on the road like they're a home team.
Sure. Undefeated at home. I had Raiders by 2 also. It's a pick.
Okay.
Giving the Bucs a little credit here. They
Bucs were down 14 in that game.
Yeah, that's their problem. They beat San Francisco. I don't know. They're in the stretch of 3 home games now, Tampa Bay, Oakland, Atlanta, and Chicago. And then their next are at KC, Seattle, and at San Diego.
I don't know what to make of the Bucs. I have no opinion.
Yeah.
I do think Jameis throws it up for grabs a little too much.
Yeah, I don't know with Tampa. I think they're you don't know what you're getting with they're the knuckleball pitcher of the NFL. They're the Tim Wakefield. Because they were good one game doesn't mean they're going to be good the next.
Yeah, that's true. They make it 9 runs.
The Tampa Wakefields. Yeah.
Can you believe how many running backs just can come in and do well?
No,
like
it's
Jacquizz
weird.
Rodgers and Joe Ajayi? Jay Ajayi?
Yeah, Jay.
Who? Joseph Ajayi? Jay Ajayi?
That's what we want to say. I can't even get the Reggie Cobb thing right.
Kristen Michael?
KC at Indy.
I know you can't tip your picks for
Right.
Cousin Sal's shirt thing. This to me looks like one of the locks of the year. I don't know what the final line is,
You're
but
saying
I had the
KC.
Chiefs 1.5. I just think the Chiefs are considerably better than the Colts.
I said Chiefs 2.5, and it is Chiefs 3.
Yeah, I should have gone higher. We should probably bet that before it keeps going
By
up.
the half point down to 2.5. Doesn't matter
I
now
continue
with
to think the Colts are terrible.
I did too.
Just awful.
I
And I
hate
don't
it.
know. Yesterday they had this, Malarkey's a bottom 5 coach, but they had this clear offensive decision they were making where they're just like, we're just going to throw over the middle of the tight ends and we're just going to cram it down. And Jack Doyle, you've probably never heard of him, but he's going to have a huge game. And it was clear what they were doing pretty early.
Yeah.
And the Titans were, whoa, they threw the tight end again. Whoa, didn't see that one coming.
They couldn't pressure Luck.
No, they couldn't. When you can't pressure Luck, you're not good.
I'm not talking about the game show of the mid-'80s pressure Luck. I said they couldn't pressure Luck. That's what I meant. But
he had 24 sacks going into that game, and they had no pass rush at all.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
what a terrible division.
Meanwhile, a great division, and I think the AFC West is the best division right now.
Yeah,
AFC West or NFC East.
Yeah, all your teams are over 500.
Look at the AFC West: Broncos plus 175, Chiefs plus 175, Raiders plus 2. Raiders are in first place, and they're plus 250. And Chargers are 15-1. I like. Are that
they
division.
Really?
Yeah.
God bless the Chargers.
Fun.
The San Diego was really mad about the piece we did last week.
They were?
Yeah,
really?
They were mad. It's so funny.
What do you mean? Oh, the team is mad. Yeah. Well, the city.
No, the whole city. They're like,
the whole city?
You're not from here. Don't tell us we were.
Really?
It's what they don't realize is what happened with the Chargers or what's going to happen with the Chargers is what happened to the Padres. They're like, it's tax-free. You guys won't have to pay for anything.
Right.
But if the economy turns, they can all of a sudden go, hey, our bad, you're going to have to pay for stuff. And they can just flip it. Like, it's not a binding contract for the rest of eternity.
Right.
They can just be like, hey, we need the money, so we're going to...
Yeah. Oh, let them waste their money then. Let them be mad.
But what's funny is their biggest argument is, hey, it's a hotel tax. It's the fans from the other teams that are going to be paying it. It's like, so you're going to build another stadium?
Right.
To get fans from other teams to come to the football games? What's the point?
Yeah.
We're going to have 20,000 Bears fans here. It's like, great. Why are you building a stadium?
Right.
Just go to L.A., make the 2-hour drive.
Building around SeaWorld. No one's going to SeaWorld anymore because build a stadium in there.
That's true.
At least you make something good out of something bad.
San Diego's such a beautiful place.
I know,
like, why do they care if they have a football stadium?
That's where I'd want to settle down.
Sal, it's 10 football games and 4 concerts a year. It's 14 dates.
I watched your bit. I saw.
And they have a convention center already. Everyone's happy with the old convention center.
Yeah.
I hate this stuff.
I don't know how excited people need to get about a new stadium. It's unbelievable.
I will say the Vegas one, which is also reprehensible, just that whole thing is just as bad. Mm-hmm. But at least like having a football stadium in Vegas makes a modicum of sense.
And also, you know what you're getting involved with the Raiders. Like, yeah, the Raiders are ripping you off if they're involved in any deal. So
50-year history.
Right.
Of it.
But Vegas, you're getting ripped off going to Vegas, too. So that's it.
The thing with the football stadium in Vegas is it would lead to Super Bowls in Vegas, which you could make a case. Like, if you're Las Vegas, that's a shitload of money.
God,
that's millions of people coming in and betting at the casinos. Like, you have to do that.
For sure. Yeah.
And also, like, I don't love their convention setup.
In Vegas?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a
kind of old,
and it's just you're walking forever, and maybe
I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Detroit at Houston. Here we go.
Texans by 4.
You're gonna get this. I went Houston by 5. I thought this would be the end of Detroit's run. It's only 3. Houston by 3.
I like Detroit.
Yeah, a lot of I don't know.
Every year we see 1 or 2 teams that just every game comes down to the wire and there's no rational explanation for it and you just have to ride it. And this year it's the Lions and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Those are the 2. Just the games are going to go to the fourth quarter.
So take the points. Houston on a short week. Yeah, maybe. All right, now 2 late afternoon games. Only 2. San Diego at Denver.
Broncos by 5.5.
All right, I hit this one exactly. Broncos by 6. Let's see what happens tonight.
I love when the Chargers play in Denver. I don't know what the stats are, but it's just I just have this vague memory of every year being mad that I didn't bet on the Chargers as the announcers talk about how much Phil Rivers loves playing in Denver.
Taking the points.
Yeah. Phil Rivers loves playing here. But
they score points. Their offense is rarely stifled, even when they're overmatched. They have that. He has a lot of nice bailout passes. Phil Rivers over the middle, your favorite Melvin Gordon or whoever else. Like
that guy. That guy can go straight to hell.
Their offense is good.
Could you believe Gates dropped the pass over the middle that he's caught 7,000 times?
Yeah, but he would have gotten hammered anyway, right?
I know, but it's just... first of all, I can't believe he's still in the league. And second of all, he's caught that pass since I was in college.
You're right. Was that the worst? We're getting to this. We could do this now. Green Bay at Atlanta. Was that the worst call of the year for a coach? Quinn? 4th and 1, 46-yard line. Where was it? Midfield?
Well, All right, so this is what bothers me about football advanced metrics. So they lay out the case of like, oh, the winner expect to see in the defense, and their defense isn't good, but
Right.
it's all fine. I concede all of those points. My problem was with the plays they did.
I said the same thing.
3rd and short one and 4th and short one, and instead of spreading everyone out and doing 3 receivers and a tight end and whatever, you're running a goal line offense on 3rd down and 4th down. It's idiotic.
Your biggest weapon is Julio Jones. You have to at least make it like there's a possibility you might throw to him, even if you don't. I mean, the way they did it, they all came crashing the line.
Yeah.
They knew what was coming.
Get 3 receivers, get your tight end, spread them out, get 5 D-backs on the field, and then run. You can get a yard in 2 tries if you do that. Your goal line on the 40-yard line this is the same thing the Pats did. I remember I wrote a column like 7-8 years ago, and they went for it on 4th and 2 from around 28.
Right.
And it wasn't just the math of it. It was the fact that we ran a shitty play.
Play call's always the thing that does them in. Yeah.
So
Right. I'm the same way. And now he's made this, Quinn has made this division interesting when they could have had like a 1.5 game lead.
Yeah.
What do you have? Green Bay at Atlanta.
Falcons by 3.
You get it exactly. I went a little higher. I said 3.5. That seems fair. 3.
Before we do the night games, how often do you get takeout?
12, 13 times a week. A lot.
You have 3 kids.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. If you signed up with Blue Apron for less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron will deliver all the fresh ingredients you need for a delicious and healthy home-cooked meal for you and your brood.
My kids love fresh ingredients. It's
I
like,
know.
stop talking about the fresh ingredients already. There's
They
a
have
game.
Blue Apron has the highest standard for ingredients, and they build a community of home chefs that has no rival. Some of the meals available in October: crispy chicken Milanese with warm Brussels sprouts, celery, and potato salad; Thai green curry chicken and squash with jasmine rice, cashews, and yu choy, whatever that is; roasted pork steam buns with black garlic mayonnaise and spicy cabbage slaw. And then November, it's a whole new batch of meals again. You get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. You just go to blueapron.com/BS, and they start showing up at your door.
Nice.
And then your wife doesn't have to cook for everybody. I know you don't cook. I've never seen you cook in my life.
Well, no, I don't cook. And I think you're going to think this is a joke, but this could be why ratings are down 11% because everyone's on Blue Apron. Like they're just enjoying their meals.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what's on TV.
The fresh ingredients.
Yep.
Well, Blue Apron is a much better way to cook. They say it's a better way to cook. I say much better.
There you go.
All right, night games.
All right, Philly at Dallas. Here
Wow.
we go.
Wow. Love it. Man. Cowboys 6.
Yeah. Of
-6.
course, I went way lower. I went -2. It's 4.5. Dallas 4.5. They put it in the Vegas zone Sunday night.
So, Vikings Eagles. I love the Vikings all week. I just thought their defense was going to completely throttle the Eagles, and I actually was right. I didn't realize until
That was a weird game. Both lots of plays in the end zone, both end zones, and it was still like 0-0.
It didn't seem like the Vikings were just going to win. Like, first of all, interception, the guy gets tackled on the 1-yard line, and
Right.
somehow they went backwards and
They go
Bradford threw the
backwards.
pick. But if the Eagles went up, or the Vikings went up 7-0, I think the game's over.
Right.
I don't know if the Eagles would have scored.
It's a strange game, and they went for 2, the Eagles. I know that the penalty put them closer, but what does 8-3 get you? Like, I don't know. And it
Whole thing
worked.
was nuts.
It was very strange.
But I didn't realize until this weekend how bad the Vikings offensive line issues were.
Yeah.
And I got nervous about that pick because I was gonna bet on the Vikings on Sunday. I got nervous. I backed off.
I might have talked you out of it. But you can only win so many games with a very, very average, and I think that's a generous depiction offense. And McKinnon went out early, I think.
Yep.
And then you have a gimpy Stefan
Diggs, yeah.
So, I don't know. Sam Bradford.
Well, here's the issue. Sam Bradford is not durable.
Right.
If he's going to take hits like he took in that Eagles game,
Yeah.
that team's not going to make it.
I think the Eagles had that game circled. Is that Sam Bradford calling
No,
it?
Sam was furious.
Yeah. That was a revenge.
Yeah, but that's
We hate
fine.
Sam
But
Bradford.
so the Vikings, like, we'd be like, oh, they're in.
Yeah.
Put them in. I don't know. I don't know if Bradford's going to last behind that line.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at what's happened to the other skill guys, and then you look at their schedule.
There's going to be some games where the defense doesn't score a touchdown. That's just how it is.
So they go at Chicago, Detroit, at Washington, Arizona, at Detroit on Thursday, Dallas, at Jacksonville, Indy, at Green Bay, Chicago. See, the best thing that happened to them was they got to play the AFC South.
And they have the Bears twice.
And they have the Bears twice. So they should be able to get to 10 wins. But I don't know if they're getting to 10 wins with a third-string quarterback. So they got to keep Bradford.
So they're
in the
minus
field.
160 to win the division. Would you take a chance with the Packers at plus 140?
I would if I liked the Packers.
Yeah, they're bad too.
You don't like where I'm going to go with this.
What? Lions.
What are the Lions odds?
12 to 1. You're crazy. Well, it would be a nice hedge against our no playoff bet. And then they'll win the wild card and we'll lose both.
I don't think the Vikings can win 10 games with a third-string quarterback. I
The
just don't
Viking-
think they're going to be able to score 14 points a game.
He's a third string now, you think?
No, if Bradford got hurt.
Oh, I see. If he got hurt. Yeah, well. Yeah.
I don't like his durability behind that line.
Right.
It makes me nervous.
Oh, and the Packers, just so, because it's a lost game. But
So I
lining
had the
up-
Vikings by 7 in Chicago on Monday
I had
night.
7 also, and it's plus 6. The Bears are plus 6.
So who won this week?
So you won 8-3 plus 2 ties.
Ever since we moved to Mondays, I've been killing you.
Yeah, but it's over. It's over. We
What do you mean it's over?
You got basketball now. You're gonna be checked out.
What are you talking about?
Let me just read these lines down to you.
Yeah.
3.5, 3, 2.5, 3, 1, 6.5, pick 3, 3, 6, 3, 4.5, 6.
So we have
Those
no
are-
line over 8?
No line over 6.5. New England, Buffalo 6.5. Minnesota, Chicago 6. And Denver, San Diego 6.
So
We've never had them that low.
there's a wager for NBA quickly. Go
Oh,
to
yeah.
NBA. Will the Warriors win the NBA championship? Minus 150
For yes.
for yes,
Yeah.
which means you can bet on all the other teams in the league at plus 120. You can bet $1,000, not that you would, let's say 100, on 29 teams to win the NBA title, and if any of them win, you win $120. I just want to point that out.
I would like to bet this, but I have a vote this year
Stop
as to
it.
whether
You're being a
Golden
dick.
State wins,
You're being a dick.
wins it. I am. But let me ask you this. So they'd have to suffer 2 major injuries to not make the conference.
It's the playoffs. Anything can happen.
No, but I know. But maybe we wait on this bet because they're going to make the conference finals, right? And then at that point they'll be -2. I don't know.
I think the Cavs are gonna. If I
Love
had at
the
gunpoint,
Cavs.
if I had to make a pick, I would bet on LeBron again.
Really?
Yeah.
This is where he separates them. Yeah.
And you get everyone else as well for plus 120. It just seems like a
That is
crazy
fun.
bet. I don't get that.
It is fun. That's like the Tiger Woods. You could have Tiger Woods versus the field in his heyday and the U.S. Open, and you get similar odds.
What do you think? Or if you know the answer, tell me.
Mm-hmm.
What is a Cavs Warriors finals?
1-6. No, I'll say. All right. So if the Golden State's minus 150, 2-1.
Tate, what do you think of Cavs Warriors finals? What do you think the odds are for that?
It's like 4 to 1.
Too high.
Tate doesn't. We gotta
Too
teach
high.
Tate gambling. Tate's young. He doesn't
is
know
it?
any better.
Plus-
It's
I
minus
know, like-
175.
Well, how is that?
Minus 175.
That's not a real thing. If Golden State's minus 150 to win the whole thing, it's minus 175 for that exact matchup.
The next best odds are Cavaliers Spurs at plus 600. Celtics Warriors are 13 to 1. Cavs Clippers are 20 to 1. And everything else is higher than that.
Right. That's interesting. Well, you did have us bet the Celtics at 30 to 1 to win the title when
When I thought we were getting Al Horford or Kevin Durant.
Hopefully Durant will land with the Celtics. I don't know.
MVP odds have moved a little.
I'm looking at these now.
I'm not allowed to bet on this, but LeBron is now the favorite at 4 to 1. Westbrook's 5 to 1. Steph Curry's 5 to 1. James Harden's 8 to 1. Kawhi's 8 to 1. Boogie Cousins is 10 to 1. Who blocked me on Twitter? I'll never forgive him. Steve Kerr's choice, Damian Lillard, 20 to 1.
Wow. I would. You can't short these, but I would short Steph Curry. He's not going to get credit, MVP type credit anymore, right? I mean, I think you just cross him off.
I would bet LeBron.
LeBron.
I would.
You like Harden too.
Points leaders, Harden at plus 250 and Westbrook at plus 250. Nobody else is going to be in the mix. So you could just take both of those
Right.
And if you bet 1,000 on each, you lost one. Basically, you're getting plus 150 odds on them against everybody else.
Right.
I don't see anybody else competing with those two.
All right. I like that.
The only one. No, I don't see it. I don't see anyone else.
And you like Brad Stevens at 10-1 for Coach of the Year.
No, I do have a Coach of the Year that I like.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Brad Stevens at 10-1.
Well, it's all regular season, right? So if they won, how many games? 53?
Man, they'd have to really overachieve. They'd
Yeah.
have to be like in the high 50s, something like that. The only other one I wanted to mention was the East. The Cavs are 3-1. The Celtics are 8-1.
So Cavs are minus 3-1.
Oh yeah, minus 300.
Yeah.
Celtics are 8-1. Toronto's 17-1. Atlanta's 30-1. The Bulls are 30-1.
Wow.
And the Pacers are 35-1. The Pacers odds are out of whack. I'm not saying they're going to win the Eastern Conference.
Right.
I'm just pointing out that those odds are not correct.
What about Knicks at 40-1? That could be fun for a minute.
It could be fun if you like to set money on fire.
You're rooting. You're just betting on a LeBron injury, right? At that point, right? For anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, the NBA of any sport has injuries that
Sure.
swing the finals year after year. It
That's
happens
true.
over and over again. So anytime this is too obvious, I'm
Right.
always trying to think like,
All right.
Toronto has trade possibilities too. They have like that's a Boogie Cousins team potentially.
Interesting.
That's a team that could make a move to upgrade majorly.
17-1.
Weird
for
though.
East.
It's the least exciting before the season gambling
Yeah.
universe I've ever looked at. It's basically just like Cavs or Warriors and
It's
everyone
one of
else.
those too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
All
ask
right,
you this real
World
quick.
Series.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you about.
What?
It turns out the most horrific thing on TV last night was not that Arizona-Seattle game.
Walking Dead?
Yeah. Did you watch?
I did. I haven't watched for 2 years, and I DVR'd it, and I fast forwarded through to see who died.
Why? Why would you? Why?
Let's do World Series,
All
then
right,
we'll
all
end
right.
with Walking Dead,
All right.
just in case people haven't seen it yet. So World Series, the Cubs are minus 200.
Oh, it is 2-1. Wow.
They're officially 2-1. And then, can you bet? Oh, exact total games. They have total games? I don't see the total games.
I think this is a no-win for baseball fans or fans in general. Like, I think you go to, if you're a non-Cubs or non-Indians fan, you go straight to hell if you're rooting against the Cubs. You go to hell if you're not rooting against.
Well, the Indians have
but
a
you might
better
have to-
case because they won the NBA title to be like,
Yeah.
at least they had the Cavs.
I know. I hate to tell you, but a lot of people don't care about basketball. Like people, are
What?
like no, they're baseball fans.
What?
They're Indians fans who aren't LeBron James fans. They've been waiting forever.
I couldn't believe the 1945 when I looked up that Donald Trump was born in 1946.
Right.
And he's
Before
lived his
the Indian-
whole life since the last time the Cubs made the World Series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Since they made
Like
it.
when
Yeah,
you
right.
think, it's always like, oh, they haven't won since 1945. But then when
Yeah.
you think about how old's your dad?
He's 75. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
1941.
It's just like when you think about how long that is, it's insane.
It is a long time.
And I told you this when we were walking over here. I don't watch National League until October.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watch everything. And I just think the Cubs are amazing.
They do seem like they have
so
it together.
good.
But and we were also discussing the Indians. There shouldn't be home field advantage in baseball, but the Indians seize on it. They really do. Before you know it, you're down 2-0 against them because against your Red Sox, the Blue Jays their bats were hot. They shut them down.
The
It's all about
Andrew Miller
Miller.
trump card is
That's it.
it's the
Yeah.
big one. I think you can hit their closer though.
Yeah.
I felt like we could score on him. We never totally got through on him,
Allen,
but
yeah.
I don't. I feel like we can get him. The thing with the Cubs, and this happened with the Red Sox too, and it was definitely one of the reasons we won in 2004. We had a lot of people that weren't from here on the team, and then a lot of crazy people like Damon and Millar. But like,
Yeah.
if you're Orlando Cabrera or David Ortiz or
Right.
Manny Ramirez, like, do you give two shits that some team that played in Massachusetts hasn't won the World Series since
No.
1918? And it's the same thing with this Cubs team. They have a bunch of young guys. they have this mix of people that are American and people that weren't born from here. And it's like, what does Javier Baez care about some curse?
But that's better, right?
That's
for the
better
team?
for the Cubs,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
They're more focused on actually playing the game.
Like in '86 when the Red Sox lost to the Mets, like we had our catcher was Rich Gedman. He was from Worcester.
Yeah.
This
Right.
guy, like his whole life, he'd been hearing about the Red Sox and he had Bob Stanley and all these guys who were aware of what was going on. And then
Right.
you go to '04 and it's like Johnny Damon doesn't know where he is.
Exactly.
That moment. Pedro's bringing a little person around. Ortiz and Manny and
Right.
like none of these guys bounced off him.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Cubs remind me of that.
Same
I don't
thing,
think they're
huh?
going to feel the pressure.
Let me ask you this. I know they've approached him and he doesn't want anything to do with it. I say you get Bartman to those home games no matter what.
I don't think
Get him there.
I think
Do what it takes.
we did that big 30-30 for him.
I know. It was
We tried to
great.
get him, and I really think like he's so traumatized. I think he loved the Cubs.
Yeah.
The only way I could
Sit him in the upper deck, but have him wave to the crowd, where he can't
it
cause
would be
any
like
problems.
if you screwed up the only Cowboys Super Bowl they
Yeah.
ever would have won.
Right.
You just wouldn't ever. You'd be think how traumatized you'd be.
They have to make it right, though.
I think they have to win, and then he'll come back.
You think so?
They kind of alluded to this, and the announcers ran from it because I think Joe Buck was great on Saturday night. I think he realized
call.
that the Cubs fans don't want to hear about the old stuff. He learned his lesson from '04.
By the way, it's
But-
tough to call a potential double play ball as
I know.
right? 'Cause
Out!
it could be
Out!
could be safe at first.
Right.
It could be a lot. You don't want to
It was good.
misfire on it.
It was
You did
one of
well.
the best ones.
Yeah.
But in that ninth inning, they had a foul ball into the Bartman seats.
Right. Yeah, they said I saw it.
And I'd been waiting the whole game for the moment when the Cubs fans their sphincters were going to tighten. There's no way they didn't tighten on that. It was like
Yeah.
the exact same spot. And I'm watching, I'm like, oh no, that's a bad sign. Like I just, and then all of a sudden it was over.
They
but
did mention it though, right, Buck?
They,
It was
they
this-
alluded to it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they kind of ran for the like.
Right.
Smoltz was like, "Oh no, that's not a good place for that ball to be hit," and then they
Right.
just kind of ran away.
Right.
But that was so
stupid.
weird that
Five
happened.
other guys went for that ball. It's so bad.
It was so weird that they hit the ball to that spot,
Mm-hmm.
though. But do you think the Cubs Saturday night? You think Chicago? Jacko thought that was the drunkest night any city's ever had.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Highest number of drunk people per residence.
It didn't seem like they wanted to go home anytime soon. It was
such
going to
a happy
carry through the
place.
weekend. Yeah.
You've been to Chicago a few times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Such
great.
a happy, nice place.
It's
Everybody's
nice.
so pleasant.
It'd be great for them.
Everybody's got
be
3
great.
drinks in them. So, I like the Cubs.
All right.
It feels like destiny.
I would go with the Tribe.
You like getting the odds.
Plus 170. I think they win the first 2, and Cubs bats go a little cold like they did against the Mets third week in October last year.
I think the starters that the Indians have, unless Kluber can pitch 3 times, he'd have to go 1-4-7, right? Mm-hmm. I just don't see it. I don't think Danny Salazar can just come back from the injured list and immediately throw 6 innings. You can't pitch Miller all the time. The thing that's going to kill them is that 3-4-5.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to pitch Miller in all of those games.
Yeah, it's true.
So, unless you just throw one out, I don't know. All right.
It's interesting.
What do you want to plug? What'd you
Walking
do this
Dead?
week?
No Walking Dead talk? Forget it.
Oh, yeah,
That
oh,
doesn't
Walking
matter.
Dead.
Doesn't matter.
So, yeah, I hadn't watched for 2 years.
Yeah.
I told you I broke up with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know. But
I was just too unhappy.
Yeah.
And then I was reminded why I broke up when I watched the ending and I watched 2 people brutally beaten to death with a barbed wire baseball bat.
It was the toughest hour of television ever. I mean, it made
horrible.
It made the Red Wedding look like Peppa Pig or something.
Right.
So it was ridiculous. Like my wife grabbed me. I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" It's like we had to look away for a couple times. And you hadn't watched in 2 years, so you're not emotionally invested in these characters. But it was. So how did you watch it? You were.
I just wanted to see who died. I knew all the characters.
Yeah.
I knew the guy, the bearded guy. What's
Yeah.
his name? The guy who got the first guy who got beaten up.
The hillbilly, yeah.
That guy.
Starts with an A.
Very surprised they took out the Asian guy. Did not see that one coming. But I think they just wanted to show everyone else in the cast, like, look, don't you guys ever band together and try to get like a salary raise or anything,
Yeah.
because we will beat all of you to death.
But
with a
it was
baseball
so
bat.
perfectly done because before they show who was killed, first of all, Harry Dean Morgan, he's the best bad guy ever.
Yo,
He was so,
good actor. Never
so
really
intense.
had his
I
like
know.
breakout role. I like that
so
guy.
intense. But then so Rick is going through the flashbacks of who might have died.
Yeah.
And you see Glenn first, the Asian guy, and you're like, oh, he died. But then they do it for everybody.
Yeah.
And then they kill the hillbilly, like, okay, Glenn is safe. And then, sorry if I'm spoiling something, they kill Glenn. It's like, oh my God, wow, they brought it all back. It was so well done. So well done.
I think that show's too grim.
Yeah.
It's just tough. It's never going to end. Apparently Glenn died in the comic book that way, I read.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't know about the other guy.
I think like my friend Scott has a funny thing about the first episode of Walking Dead every year is great. The last episode is great. And then everything in the middle is like, I'm going to go fart. I'm going to go get some food. It's like, I'm coming with you. You can't come with me. I am coming with you. Okay, fine. That's it.
And then they go to a grocery store.
Every episode, yeah.
Oh my God! Oh no! Don't go in that door! Oh my
maybe.
God! There are zombies there.
Maybe she shouldn't have come with you.
How did Rick's son lose his eye?
I thought he was accidentally shot. Right? That was years ago, right?
If Rick's son gets killed, I'll come back.
Oh, but the
Carl.
arm and everything. You want him dead?
I don't think about how Carl was into necrophilia. It's just how Carl's like he's had such a dark life.
Yeah,
Carl
right.
was going through puberty.
Yeah.
During this, like he's got nowhere to pleasure himself, or there's no chance for women, and he's just gone off the deep end with
That's good.
zombies.
I think that's how the comic books do it.
Yeah. Do your stuff.
Cousin Sal Sure Thing. Check in on Friday. 7-2 over my last 3 weeks.
Nice.
2-1 last week. Still up around $1,400. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Barack Obama on tonight.
Whoa, the president.
Yes.
The POTUS.
It's going to take me 2 hours to
Holy
get to work
mackerel.
from here. But yeah, it's fun. Gordon Ramsay, Felicity Jones, Jimmy Eat World, Andrew Garfield later in the week. And you can get me on Twitter at @TheCousinSal, or you don't have to, whatever. Whatever you want to do.
We have a Keeping It 1600 live show on Thursday, October 26th in Los Angeles. It's sold out. It's presented by SeatGeek. But thanks to Stitcher, you're in luck, listeners. On Friday, October 28th, you can listen to that live show exclusively on Stitcher, completely free for the first 24 hours it's up. And we'd also like to thank Truck Club. Remember, they find amazing clothes that fit you perfectly, handpicked by your own personal stylist. Not a subscription service. Order clothes whenever you like from your own personal stylist. Take 5 days, try everything on. Returns are always free. Get started today. Trunkclub.com/BS. Your personal stylist is waiting for you. Don't forget about Any Given Wednesday, 10 p.m. Wednesday night. We have Wayne Gretzky, Bill Burr, and Larry Wilmore. Don't forget to check out, it's a good one. Don't forget to check out TheRinger.com and our ongoing Mammoth NBA preview. Guess who's writing tomorrow for The Ringer?
Writing?
Me.
You are?
I wrote a column.
Hold on
I came
a
out of
second.
retirement.
Hold on. You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I did. I wrote it. It's handed in there.
Really?
Editing it. Yeah.
You don't have to do this.
I wrote an NBA column.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm back, baby. Don't forget about our other 8 podcast feeds on the Ringer Network, including the Ringer NBA show, which is now going to become very valuable during this awesome NBA season. That's it. You're going to beat me in the guest lines the rest of the year.
I agree. I just had to bide my time. Now it's mine.
You're excited for the Warriors deep down.
It'll be fun, but it has to be something like last year where they could set a record. Otherwise, it's going to be boring, isn't it?
They might have a game where they hit like 45 threes.
Wow.
There really might be some insane game.
Wow.
They might go like 45 from 60 from 3 in a game. Like that, I think it'll be more stuff like that.
I think their game should be 1 quarter, just so a team has a chance to maybe win. Like, yeah, we won 22-19.
Well, that's true. You get like a point.
That's it, yeah.
I do think they have a chance to have a 100-point half too. Would be
Wow.
the other thing. Because it's just math. Like if they hit 23s and a half, get some free throws, like
Yeah.
you could very easily climb into the 90s. And
It's
then
the
if
US
they started
Olympic.
going for it with a minute left. All right, cuz, good job by you.
Good job by you, boy.
Anytime y'all want to see me again, rewind this track right here, close your eyes, and picture me rolling.